Hello, everyone, and welcome down to episode 170 of the Down South Photo Show with me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia. And the guy that way on your other screen or in your other ear if you're listening to the show, it's Cam Blake in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, Cameron.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, Brendan. How much better is it when you do the intro as opposed to me?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you handled it pretty well for someone who was doing it for the first time.
I don't know. It was very well received, your interview, but I'm pretty happy to pass the host backing over to you. You've had 169 episodes of doing it, so you've sort of mastered it, really.
Well, it was very cool interviewing each other the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was fun.
Even though we had last week off, but the 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think some people learned some stuff, which is cool. If we can tell our stories and people enjoy listening to our journey to this point. I feel like in an hour and 20 minutes, it wasn't nearly enough. We could have probably done a part two for both of us, and maybe we will one day.
I think that's our biggest problem, though. I think we can crap on quite a lot. So, remember we started doing this show like, let's just keep it to like 35, 40 minutes. That'll be fine. Then it sort of went to like 45, 50 minutes. And now it's just constantly an hour every week.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we need to see how we go. We'll see how we go this week. Well, people already know how long it is. That's what you do, right? You look at the thumbnail comes up and it shows you exactly the length of time. So
I do that.
That's why we say each week that no one listens this far. So
yeah, I do that as well when I'm like reviewing things or looking at gear reviews and stuff like that. I'm like, how long? 25 minutes, really? I just want to know this point, and this point. So you sort of skim through, but people don't skim through this show because it's too important. They might miss some vital details, like a competition or something that we run each month that we've forgotten to do.
We kind of haven't done for a little while. Thank you to everyone who has followed and shared the show around. Thank you so much for subscribing on the tubes and also for tuning in wherever you find your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Who else does it, Cam? Google Podcasts, all that sort of stuff.
No idea. We only need 12 more subs to reach the big 1,300. So if we could get 12 subs after this week, that would be awesome. Okay. So don't be afraid to press the subscribe button and like and subscribe and comment and stuff like that. We reply to comments. I'm just going to keep cutting you off.
That's fine. There are people out there, Cameron, that actually think that subscribing costs you money. It doesn't. It's completely free. You can just hit that subscribe button down there. It doesn't cost you a cent. And away you go.
It doesn't cost you a cent. And really, like once you subscribe, you forget about it anyway.
That's right.
So it's no real skin off your nose. You just don't remember it. So just press the button and then forget about us.
A little bit of homework before we get into the nitty gritty of this week's podcast. We had a cancellation on one of our workshops. So we have a spot. It's very soon. It's in a couple of weeks. So you'll need to rattle your dags. We've got a spot for the Tarkine to Cradle Mountain workshop down in Tasmania in Cam's backyard. As I say, 15th of August that kicks off. So you've only got 2-3 weeks to, if you want to join on in, by all means, we have one spot just for you.
That's an amazingly good little workshop. Tarkine is forest and dramatic coastline, and Cradle Mountain needs no introduction. It's just a stunning place wherever you go up there. So, we'd love to have one more person. I'm sure there's one person out there who's thinking, maybe I could take a week off work, or maybe I'm retired and got a bit of extra cash hanging around. I'd like to learn from these two hooligans on the show. So maybe come along. We'll buy you a beer. We'll give you a few laughs. You'll get some great photos. But most importantly, you'll go to an amazing part of the world, which is the Tarkine and Cradle. So, come on down. Be good to see you.
Absolutely, it would be. Photo of the week, Cam. Would you like to me to put your photo of the week up on the screen?
Yeah, I think we'll go with that one first. Yeah, that's the one I was going to say. So we'll probably talk. Do you know what this is, maybe? I don't know. It's a tricky one.
It looks like a drone shot, but the drone crashed.
It's sitting upside down, just spinning. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. So this is the first time I've ever been to this place, which is mind blowing. But this is from Uluru, from our Red Centre tour a couple of weeks ago. We spent a couple of days down at Uluru and just walked around the base a bit, covered a few Ks. But I was trying to get different shots because it's such an iconic place. Like everyone shot that place to death and explored around that place. So this is in one of the little walks you can go into where the waterfall comes off the back end of Uluru. But there was just this tree sitting there, and I didn't really think about this shot until I looked up. and I took a couple of shots with the tree sort of outside the blue area. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I'm like, oh, hang on, can I actually get the tree right in that blue bit? And I just happened to fluke it. I measured it up, and none of the leaves are touching the outside, which I was pretty impressed with when I took it. So yeah, it was a great little trip. We'll probably have a chat about that sometime in the show, but this is my take on Uluru to be a little bit different to everyone else.
Which I really like, because I was thinking about this just the other day about, how we get to take people to awesome places to take photos. We get to go to these places as well. But sometimes that challenge of trying to get the different angle is quite inspiring. And it sort of puts you to work. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, I know how to use this camera. I know how to take a photo. Let's see if we can't conjure up a different kind of angle. And you know how hard it is when we go to the Summer Apostles Cam to try and get that. But on the flip side, I wanted to bring this up as well. And this has got nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight, but I just thought I'd go off on a tangent, as I like to do.
Off strip, as you do.
I sometimes, like, we'll take people to, let's use the 12 Apostles as an example, because it's an awesome location. And you can sometimes see people look at it and go, everyone's got that photo. And then they don't even take it themselves. Yeah. And I think that's a big miss. I think you've got to, get the shot that everyone gets. That's fine. Put it in your kit, put it in your folio, and then start looking for the other stuff.
Yeah, I think we say that, we set it up at Uluru as well. Like, get the postcard shot first. Like, let's nail it. We had a couple of spots where it's just that classic sunrise sunset of Uluru. So get that shot, but then let's look at sort of creating our own sort of feel, and using different focal lengths helped, and looking up and looking down below and looking for detail. It was really good having Cheryl on this trip as well, because she's got that eye for detail. So she was finding all these like little rocky little things on the ground that had all these little pebbles all collected in there, which made really great, look like aerial shots. So you get those postcard shots. Don't walk away from them, because they're great to have in your folio, like you said. And you never know, like somewhere down the line, someone's going to go, oh, I'd love to buy a picture of Uluru. Have you got that classic shot? And you're like, oh no, I didn't take the classic shot, but I've got this really abstract shot. They're not going to do that. So, but yeah, I was talking to one of the guys who's a printer down here, Simon Olding, who runs Full Gamut down here in Hobart. Lovely guy. And I went in to get some paper yesterday, and I said, oh, you've been out shooting lately? He's like, nah, I guess I'm just living through everyone else's photography at the moment. And he goes, and when I do go out, he goes, I feel like I've forgotten how to do it. He goes, I needed a couple of hours to really get my mojo back. And I thought that was also an important thing, along with when you go to places, you might try and get that postcard shot, but sometimes you just get a bit like creative block right there and then. You're like, oh, well, okay, this is the postcard shot, but how do I do it? Oh, what do I do? And you got to sort of teach yourself, go back to basics. So yeah, it just says, just keep out practicing and get those classic shots. But then I use it's almost like when you used to play cricket. You do a couple of warm-up overs in the nets before you go out. That's the postcard shots for me. They're the warm-up shots. And then once you get your eye in, that's when you start really looking at detail and moving around and taking different shots.
Can I ask you a question without notice?
Absolutely.
Did you and ah about the orientation on this photo? Have you tried it 180 degree flip?
I have. Yeah, I have.
Well, you have, but
yeah, no, I did. That's the way it was shot. So I was shooting up, and the rock was behind me that way. So that's the true orientation of it. But I did flip it around the other way, 180, and it also looked pretty cool. So it sort of works either way. But I sort of liked it the way I shot. So I don't know why I
probably even works like 90 degrees as well. Now that I'm tilting my head, and
I'd love to see like with going like this.
But I think if you do it 90 degrees with the tree at the base, that's too run of the mill, isn't it? Because that's the tree coming out of the ground. Whereas this angle and then the 180 flip probably works as well. So
the 180 flip works as it creates like a bit of a bowl of where the gap is. But I just pretty much I was right up against that sort of branch. This is a 15mm lens, so quite wide. But yeah, I wasn't until I'd actually edited it all and done it all and shared it all that I went through and just turned it around and went, oh, that sort of works as well. So that was just luck, really. It was a bit of a lucky shot in that way where it works both ways. So yeah.
And one other thing I'd like to mention, I don't know whether you did this intentionally or not, but you've made your white borders smaller.
Yes, I did. Yes, I don't know why.
Was that intentional?
No, no, not really. Only reason being is because this is how stupid I am. This is how much attention I pay to stuff. When I edit stuff when I'm on the road, if I edit it through my phone, I've got the Lightroom border thing set up to be a certain amount of pixels.
Yep.
And when I go on my laptop and edit through Lightroom and then export it to create a border, it's totally different. So sometimes you'll see shots that might have a real thin border. That'll be the ones on the phone. So this is actually edited on the phone. And then the thicker board will be the one that's done on a computer. But yeah, no real reason. That's just how it's set up, and I haven't changed it. So do you think it works better with a thin border or a thicker border?
Yes. My 2 cents, I prefer the thin border, but whatever.
Yeah, okay.
It's
yeah.
You sort of season to taste, don't you? Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes I prefer no borders at all, like that.
Like your one.
This is Barwon Heads. I really love where I live. I'm so lucky to live in a spot where I can wander down. So my darling wife works in Barwon Heads at a bakery a few days a week, including on a Saturday. And she starts really early on a Saturday morning. So I get to walk the dog along the beach and then over the bridges and go and grab a coffee with my wife, which is really cool. And sometimes on the way back, I get to swing by this awesome jetty at Barwon Heads. And every time I go to this spot, it's different. I love it. Jetties are so cool because you get the leading lines and the vanishing points and all that sort of stuff. But when you get them over water like this with cool skies, you can sometimes get the texture in the clouds matching the texture on the water and on the jetty. So it's sort of,
I was going to say that
kind of tie together.
That jetty's really gnarly. It's got some really cool wood.
Like the wood on the top,
Yeah, it looks like old, like it's obviously probably old sleepers or something like that, but they're really well worn nicely.
Yeah, they are. And I think it's because a lot of kids in summer jump off this jetty and it just gets salt water on it all the time. So it gets all those sort of mottled sort of appearance. So it's good.
And then the white line frames it up nicely.
I'd like to see the edges that get repainted all the time. So
is that facing south?
Basically due south, and
that'd be a good spot for an aurora.
Great spot to photograph the aurora. In fact, I shot the May 11 last year aurora right there next to other local photographer Pete James. We were both stood there getting some awesome shots. So, good. That was anyway. I just thought I'd put up a little photo of the week for everyone. Yeah. Now, Cam, you got another photo there. Should I put that up now?
If you want to, we can put it up.
I like it.
Oh, you told me to.
Yeah, I like it.
My face is changing color because I got the bloody footy on above me. I have to turn it off. Hang on. That's better. My face is flickering.
So this was edited on your phone?
No. Yes, this one was. Sorry. Well, actually, maybe I had that back to front. Maybe the thick border's on the phone and the thin border's on the computer.
Okay.
So I normally when I'm on the road, I normally edit stuff on the phone. And then when I get home, I back all my photos up and then play around again. So I don't know. I've done it. I've lost my own track. I got bored the other day. I got home from the Red Centre and I was pretty tired. It was a pretty big trip. And then I got cancelled in Sydney on the way back. My flight got cancelled. It wasn't Jetstar, amazingly. It was Qantas. So I got put up in a hotel and I had an early flight the next morning. I got home and I was pretty knackered. And I woke up the next day and I'm like, I'd love to get some aerial shots of all the snow mountains around Tassie. So I rang up the local air place here, Par Avion, and said, do you any chance I can get a plane up? I'd sort of treated myself to a 1.5 hour flight over the southwest of Tassie with all the snow-capped mountains. Now that sounds a bit wanky that I just went and shouted myself a flight, but it wasn't overly expensive considering where you go. But it was overly bumpy on the way up. One thing I didn't check was it was going to be a beautiful morning, but I didn't check the turbulence reports. And we're flying over Mount Wellington and we were all over the place. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be absolute shite. So it was actually going to be about a 2-hour flight, and we ended up cutting it short because the light was getting a bit harsh and the winds were picking up. So we pretty much flew out over Hobart, went and did a lap around Mount Anne. This is Mount Anne, which is the highest peak in the southwest of Tassie. That's looking pretty much due southwest. And then we flew back, did a lap of that, and then came back home. So I was up and back in an hour and 20 minutes, and very cool. But I just wanted to see those caps with snow on them. You see them from the ground, but why not just take it from the plane?
Is that from Hobart Airport?
It's the little airport next to Hobart Airport. So there's Cambridge Airport, which is the small one. We went in a Cessna 172. Gavin was my pilot, and it's fun. It's always the way, like you start bumping around little planes, like you start thinking, geez, that's a bit. He's chatting away. He couldn't have cared less about the bumps. I said, I reckon it's going to be like that all the way. And he goes, the turbulence was picking up a little bit on the reports. He goes, that's all right. He goes, we'll bump around, we'll skid around, we'll drop, we'll go. And like, there's nothing to hang on to though. That's the thing I don't like. Like if you're a pilot, like you got the controls and stuff like that. When if I had that, like it's like a steering wheel, you'd sort of feel some of those bumps happening. But when you're sitting there and you got nothing but a seatbelt, it's like a roller coaster. And you know how I am on roller coasters. So we bumped around a bit, but then
I made you go on one.
You know what I've been watching, totally off track here. There's a Instagram page that does just recordings of roller coaster rides all around the world. It is phenomenal. Cool. I am hooked on it. Like it's all the craziest for all the roller coasters around the world. I don't know what the name of the page is, but so anyway, it was good. We've had a really good time, and like I said, I got away with about half a dozen really good photos I was happy with. But this is probably the pick of them because that's Mount Ann right there, and the little pinnacle behind, I think it's called Lot's Wife. I've actually climbed around the back of this big mountain in front with Luke O'Brien and Luke Uberbuck on a crazy adventure a couple of years ago. So it was good. And there was actually, as we were flying around, he goes, it looks good down there. And I said, you know what, there'll be some idiot camping up there. I guarantee it. And then I got home and there was some guy who follows me. He's not an idiot. His name was Mark. He was camping up there. I said, I flew over you this morning. He goes, yeah, I think I heard you. So small place, Tassie.
Man, that would have been fresh.
Well, he was meant to stay up there all day, I think he said, and then he ended up packing up early because the wind kicked in. He couldn't keep his tent up, so he packed up and walked down. So, but that certainly beats doing it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
love it. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's put us back up there. So we thought we might have a bit of a chat first off about what we're up to. Not next week, but the week after, like soonish. We're going out to scout Kangaroo Island, which we teased a little bit last week.
We are.
And we don't actually know officially if we're going to run a workshop or tour there or when we're going to do it.
No,
but I thought we don't really. No, we don't. And well, I've been there, but it was quite a while ago now. My kids were quite little, and it was more of a family. You went camping on Kangaroo Island for a few nights, and it was great. I remember it being really good. But when we had like toddlers then, like that's not when Dad goes out to shoot sunrise and sunset, So, and we were camping, so it was more of just a bit of a recce, have a bit of a look around. But I can't really remember that much of it. So,
well, if you had a couple of toddlers, probably drinking the whole time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, so, I'm the same. I've never been there, and I'm excited to get over there. But you're right. We're running this scouting trip like we run this show with absolutely no plans, no thoughts and processes, nothing. We're just going to go
the seat of our pants.
There's a fair chance we may just sit on the 19th hole for 4 days and decide we don't want to run a workshop there. I don't know.
That's always possible as well. But I thought we just sort of, I know kind of why we're going there. We're going to find the spots. But I think when you run a workshop or a tour there, you've also got to do things like you got to calculate distances, timings, where you can eat, all that sort of stuff as well. So it is interesting. And, we know, well, I mean, if we do our research before we go, we're going to know the big spots to go to. But what we're interested in is the little nuggets, right? Which are a bit harder to find.
That's the thing. That's why, like, it's super important to scout. Like, scouting costs money to do. This is like a bit of the behind the scenes of what we do as tour operators. It's like, you've got to scout the place. You can go cold turkey, but that runs its own set of risks because you will miss those little nuggets. You will miss those really nice little spots where you can guarantee someone will get home after that trip and go, I just saw someone else went to this place. Why didn't we go there? And you're like, well, I didn't know it was there because I didn't look. So it costs money to go there. You got to set up your accommodation. You got to scout accommodation for a group. So it's okay for a couple of blokes to go and just hire an Airbnb 2-bedroom, be done with it. But when you've got 7 or 8 people to go with you, you've got to scout that. Location of where your accommodation is important. You don't want to be driving an hour to every location every day. And then, you got to check, how easy is it to get there? Then you got to check sunset, sunrise places, which is what we'll be doing. I've allocated you to go check the sunrises out and I'll go find the sunsets. That's easy done.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a ripoff. But like there is a bit involved with it. And then finding those spots, and then you can guarantee we're going to find 20 really good spots that we need to squeeze into like a 4-day tour. That's the other challenge.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I mean, it's also, we need to work out, what's the best time of year? Where's is the sun, if the sun rises over there, is that going to be better for us? Or if it sets over there, is that going to be better? All that sort of stuff. One thing and you wouldn't believe this, Cam, but I had a friend of mine stay here on Friday night with he's got young'uns fresh off Kangaroo Island.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, so he that's right. I don't believe it. So he's trying to he was trying to sort of explain it to me more, because again, he did it with the kids. So he was all about the wildlife, and he said he was pleasantly surprised with the abundance of wildlife over there, given that it was only 5 years ago they had some pretty serious fires there. So
he said
the place is recovering really well though, so that's a win.
So I'd never been there before fire, so I'm sort of going completely fresh-eyed. So I know some people have said that was, it's quite spectacular, but now there might be spots that aren't as great based. They're still recovering. So yeah, it's going to be like Google Maps is a good one to sort of show you where to go and what you can do. But like, I'm just on the map now looking around. There's some great spots. Looks like there's some really good sort of beaches. Looks like there's some nice lookouts. They've actually named a corner after us, Pig's Head Corner, which looks pretty cool. Perfect.
We'll
so yeah, it'll be good. Is it the Remarkables? Is that the rocks? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, so I think that's, got to get my orientation right here. I think that's at the far west of the island. Far east.
Oh, yes, it does. It does look
far west of the island. Yeah.
Yep. So there's lighthouses out that way, and so there'll be lots to see. And again, this is why we go scout. A lot of people just think it's a piss up for us in a game of golf, which it might most likely will be. But
we might sneak that in, but it's legit.
Sneak it in.
It's legit ATO, all right.
But that's the thing. And then when we run it, like you said, right time of day, looking at Milky Ways and moon cycles and things like that, we'll take into account. But I'm excited to get there. I think it's going to be a nice break for both of us. I think we've been working pretty hard anyway. So to get over there and have a nice couple of relaxing days to scout out and just take some nice photos for ourselves, will be nice. And hopefully we can put a nice scenery together that's going to really spark interest from people. I reckon. Well, we've had a lot of people ask us about Kangaroo Island. So, and good friend of the show, Adam Edwards, he also said to reach out if we had any questions about where to go, because he's been there a few times as well. So
that is very nice of Adam. He's quite the guy. Quite the guy.
He's quite the guy. He's meant to ring me a couple of days ago, and he hasn't done it yet. So,
all right. Well, now that he's listening to this, he will get on the blower straight away. Now, good segue, Cam. We're going to take some photos when we're on Kangaroo Island, aren't we?
Yes. There. Hey, there's a salt lagoon.
Let's go there, because we haven't done that before. The burning question is, Cameron, what brand of camera will you be wielding when we get to said island as we move into our next topic?
Oh, that was very smooth segue. So I might. Well, this is the thing. This is what I'm really struggling with. I'm having a bit of an identity crisis in regards to camera stuff. So why? Well, everyone knows I love the Olympus OM brand, but I can't help thinking that they're starting to just stop. So everything they bring out is not really their normal standard of more evolution of a camera. It's the same sensor, same body. They're rehashing things, stuff like that. So I'm starting to get a little bit concerned that, okay, this brand might be going to sort of stop in a few years. So with that, I wanted to have a look at some other options about what I could do. I've got to keep that white lens. That white lens is the only thing keeping me in the Olympus system, really. And there's a few other awesome features I like about it, but that's probably the main thing. If I didn't have that lens, I probably would have moved something else and tried something else for a while. So I'm going to keep that white lens, but I'm thinking I want to try and maybe move into something else and try be a little bit different. So everyone knows I've got that little Leica M11, which I love. And I took that to Uluru, and it did everything. The red center, it did the whole lot, which is great. So I took the Olympus with the white lens. I pulled it out once. So I like that small compact, and the quality of the lenses and the sharpness of the lenses I really like. So the other day I was talking to Mark at DigiDirect. I said, "Oh, I'm really interested in getting, well, maybe not interested, but I'm keen to get a price on the Leica SL3, which is this is their mirrorless SLR equivalent to, like the GFX and the Sonys and the Canons, stuff like that, full frame." And he gave me a price back, and I went, "Oh, alrighty, that's going to hurt a bit, but maybe, maybe." And that was body only, and I went, "Okay, maybe I won't do that." And then I went back to the drawing board, and about a day later, I was just on eBay, as you do, and this guy in Sydney was selling a Leica SL3 and a 50mm 1.4 Summilux lens, which is a really, really nice lens. And the price on that, I went, "Yeah, there you go. Look at that. You got one there. Oh, I got mine right here. Here it is. All pretty."
I'll show you a really low res version of it that I just ripped off Google.
That's taken with the Leica, that one.
That's right. It's taken with a potato by the looks of
it. Yeah. And I looked and I went, "Geez, that's a really good deal for that." So I messaged the guy. I said, "What are you selling it for?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm trying to buy a house. I've got some other Mamiya stuff, and I'm just trying to get rid of it." And I said, "Right, okay." And I had a bit of chat. I wasn't looking to spend all that money at once. I was sort of going to just start gradually going into that system and see how I went. But I ended up buying it. So now I've got an SL3 and a 50mm 1.4 lens, which came in the mail today. It's practically brand new. So that's good. And I saved thousands of dollars on it, which is great. And I've already spoken to Mark. So this is a lens. These lenses are big. That's a 50mm 1.4, 1.4s, but it's lovely.
I'll say.
But I really wanted something wide angle. I wanted this to maybe be the wide angle landscape, big print sort of camera. So I spoke to Mark at DigiDirect and I said, "I want to get this lens." And I said, "How much will you give me for this one?" And he goes, "Oh, about this much," which is a bit different. I said, "How about we just do a trade?" And I thought jokingly, he goes, "Okay, let's do that." So I've bought it. It's a good deal. I'm a few thousand in front as to if I'd bought it new and stuff like that. So I've actually bought it secondhand. I can't tell him how many frames it's taken. Leica make it very hard for you to check the frame count on their cameras. Really? Yeah, it's like you got to go through some back end maintenance menu, which I'm not going to go do. But it looks practically brand new. The guy's only had it 6 months. So I've got a new camera. That's it here. It's really nice, Leica SL3. It's got a tilty screen.
Can you show me the little LED panel on the top? Can you get that a little bit closer to the camera? Top? Yeah, right. Yep. There you go. I didn't even know it had one of those. So there you go.
Yeah, and it's got a push button thing on the back, like a push button start, which is pretty cool. But then that lights up and gives you all your details up there.
Cool.
But the only reason I bought it is because when you turn it off, look, watch this for wankness. Does the Leica symbol as you turn off. So it's a wanky.
Wow, that's all that money well spent.
Yeah. So I put up a post on my Facebook page saying, because I know the stigma behind it. I don't
get that. I'm sorry. Can I just jump in? I don't get that, and honestly, I don't know that it even exists.
Well, I find when I come across there's a big stigma around Leica cameras. If someone pulls out a Leica, everyone's like, oh, you've got a Leica. There's a big, I don't know what it is. It's like the Mercedes or someone rocks up in a nice car. I've noticed, and I sort of sometimes
honestly I haven't. Someone pulls out a Leica, I go, cool, you got a Leica, that's sweet. Whatever.
Yeah, I've had people, if they pull out a Q3 or they pull out an M11 or something like that, there's always a reaction. And I felt a bit funny about it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to come across as that person who is just throwing money and thinking I'm buying a better camera. I actually do like the system. I like the M11 I've got. I love the size and the quality. The lenses I think are unbeatable. They're really, really, really sharp lenses. The shots out of the airplane were all taken on that M11. I can adapt my M11 lenses onto this mount as well. So
that's handy.
So that's handy. So that was another reason to stay in that brand. But yeah, I put it out there and I'm like, oh, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. And then the universe just works in funny ways. And then I was just scrolling through. I'm like, oh, that can't be right. That's a body. I said, that's body only. He goes, no, body and lens. I went, surely it's stolen. I don't know. But yeah, so I have another camera.
Yeah, without telling us exactly what sort of dollars are we talking about? People want to know. Come on, mate. Like, give us a ballpark.
Ballpark.
Is it five figures?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully the first figures are one.
The first figure is a 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So the camera retails for about 10.5, brand new.
Yep.
And this lens retails for around about 7 new.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. And this is where I get a bit funny about it. I get a bit tweaky about it because I'm thinking, well, that's a lot of money. It's a great tax deduction, which is handy.
Sure.
But I use it. I think Mel Haddon put up a comment. Thank you, Mel. When I put up my post, he goes, I've seen people pull out Leicas and stuff like that. He goes, most of them don't know how to use it. I reckon you might know how to use it. So that's a good thing to me. It's like, I know how to use cameras. So I'm not just buying it for the sake of buying. I'm going to use it. It's going to be a tool. It'll get bumped around. But overall, I got it for just under 12,000.
No.
So it's a pretty big saving. And then swapping this lens over for the other lens that Mark's doing puts me in a couple of $1,000s in front again. So
yeah,
overall it's about 10, which is a lot of money, I know, but
yeah. I mean, I don't know, and it could be just me, but I've never been brandist when it comes to cameras in particular.
Yeah,
I understand the whole thing, like cars, for example. I mean, I get that. I understand how people like, because tall poppy syndrome in this country is like, you see someone in a Lamborghini, you automatically think they're a wanker.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, then, and then you got to look at it the other way and go, well, hang on, I'm sure they worked hard for their money and they've.
But 9 times out of 10, they are a wanker.
Dealer.
Yeah, like I say, 9 times out of 10, they're a drug dealer, a politician, or a sports star.
But cameras aren't on that level. It's not that. It's not flashy. It's not showy.
No.
There'd be, mate, 95% of people in this country don't even know what Leica is. So,
yeah, that's right.
It's not like that. But there are aficionados like yourself and myself and people who are into cameras and love the industry, and we're photographers, people that go to BFOP, all that sort of stuff, who get it, who they look at it like, oh, that's really nice. And a lot of people have probably put it as one of their dream cameras. But at the same time, exactly what Mel said, you know what you're doing with it. So, it's like, I always use this analogy of me buying Tiger Woods' golf clubs doesn't make me Tiger Woods. No, you got to work for that. You've done that. You've done the hard yards. You know how to use it. You also know just how good Leica is in terms of image quality. So, why wouldn't you? If you can do it, do it. I mean, and you're going to have a great tool of the trade. I mean, there's builders out there that I'm sure, see a builder with a particular brand of bloody, nail gun or something and goes, oh, well, look at you. Or when the plumber rocks up in his Mercedes van.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's like, what's this going to cost me? But that's right.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
I think a lot of this is self-inflicted. The wankery thing. Yeah, I don't get it, and I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
As a wanker. Okay. Yeah. Look,
you're saying that your post that you put up, summed it up. You said, "Oh, I'm a bit worried that people are going to think I'm a wanker." They can get in the bin. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, and really, I don't care if people do think I'm a wanker, but it's an interesting one, like you said. Like it's the tool analogy is a good one because people rock up with Makita, Ryobi, and stuff like that. Like Jamie's done it here before. He came around and I had some Ryobi. He goes, "Oh, Ryobi," So that's an Aussie thing. The thing I like I said about this system is the quality, and the other thing that's really interesting that I've noticed, and I've done a fair bit of research on this over the days. So someone said, "Why didn't you buy a Sony or why didn't you buy a Canon or whatever, Nikon?" And the reason being is because they depreciate so quickly and so badly, where these cameras don't. They just don't. My M11's gone up in price, so they don't depreciate. So I can keep this camera for a couple of years and probably get close to my money back on it, if not a little bit less. But that's another thing I tell you, because it's a business tool and it's an investment. There's no point buying a Sony, Canon, or Nikon when they're going to bring out a new model next week, and the one you have is just, not redundant, but it's going to depreciate a hell of a lot. These ones will keep their value a bit more, and the lenses especially just don't drop in price.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you could mount a similar argument for some of Canon's L series lenses as well. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
generally speaking, Leica ones that can be up there. So anyway, I just thought I'd let you know on the show. I've just ordered a Hasselblad. Say it's on its way.
Cool. Well, someone said, "Why did you buy a Hasselblad?"
We're going to take it to Kangaroo Island, and we'll have a shootout, Leica versus Hasselblad.
Yeah, well, I've done those reviews. on YouTube.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like
I didn't buy Hasselblad, by the way.
No, that's all right. But that's the thing. I do love cameras. I have a genuine love of cameras and the way they're made and the way they feel and the way they operate. So I'm a bit of a tragic like that. And it's the same with that white lens I've got. Like I take that to places and people are like, oh, I'm like, would you like to have a go at? Oh no, I can't touch that. They're there to be used. Like I use my gear and I'm happy to let people have a bit of a play with it on trips as well. But yeah, like I said, it's a tool of trade. I like it. I've been working hard. I might as well splash out. And then, like I said, if it doesn't work, I can sell it on, and kids don't have to go to school.
Yeah, that's a very good. Yeah, that's right. They can go hungry. That's the other very valid point. Is you've got to reward yourself every now and then. And if you've had your eyes on the Leica and you're a fan, and then that's what you buy. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, apparently, maybe I might. I was going to say I might be on another podcast soon talking about this Leica.
Very good.
The Lucky Strap boys are trying to tee me up to come and talk about the SL series and hash out what's so good or bad about it. So that could be interesting. Watch their space.
Okay. Well, you're going to want to have to use it for a little while first, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I might even see if they've got our straps ready.
Where are they? What happened?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Did we do something wrong? I mean,
everything was going so well, and then
I know.
I'm sure it is still going well. I think
they are.
Busy.
They are.
Shout out to those guys.
Can I give them a hard time though?
Sure, do it. They're making us look bad by doing an episode every 3 minutes.
Why are they doing such fabulous podcasts at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning when I'm supposed to be working?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because that's when they're meant to be working.
I sort of just see it come on. I want to watch that one, and then if you don't watch it then and there, you start getting a backlog. Like I want to watch the one with you go.
I was going to say and they're long shows. Like you invest a couple of hours on that morning, you're in. It's fine, you can watch it. But if you got to go back and watch it that night, yeah,
you're probably not going to. I want to watch the one with Nick Fletcher. Like I'm curious on his backstory because I heard a little bit about his army stuff and paratrooping and all this cool stuff. So I want to know more there. So maybe I'll watch that one on the way up to BFOP this year. It might be the only chance I get to listen to it. So,
or we can watch it. We can watch it together in Kangaroo Island in front of an open fire with a couple of cans.
Okay, that sounds great. That sounds very romantic.
I thought it was.
Can we circle back, Cam? The Red Centre.
Yes,
that was also one of your first times there. Is that right?
Yeah, here I am. You set me up perfectly here. I don't go anywhere without scouting it. How'd you go on the Red Centre? Don't know. I've never been there before. Didn't scout it.
First time.
Thanks. First time.
There's an asterisk there because it technically wasn't your tour. It was your
that's right.
photography slant on that tour.
That's correct. Yeah. So we
give me right. You've question without notice. Give me 3 highlights of the Red Centre. I want 3.
3 highlights of the Red Centre. Well, the Red Centre 3 highlights. Uluru would have to be a highlight. That's actually is it Katajuna? I think
Katajuta.
Katajuta. I actually found that more photography wise. I found that more of an impressive location than Uluru. So those together, that was a big highlight. The Field of Lights was really, really cool. That was just a lovely. Like we weren't allowed to take tripods in. We're working on that for next year's tour. We're getting a special permit and things like that. But that was just lovely to walk through. That was towards the end of the trip. We're all getting a bit tired. But the absolute highlight for me on that whole trip would have to be Rainbow Valley, like you said it would be. That was a spectacular spot. The colors in there were just off the charts. We had a stunning sunset, a stunning sunrise, and the Milky Way just over the top.
Have you got a quick image you can chuck below so I can put it up on the screen?
Oh, yes. Okay. No pressure.
You'd think we'd be more organized, but anyway.
You would think. So yeah, that was definitely a highlight of what we did. Where is that picture? Keep talking while I find it, Brendan. I
was just going to say, like you showed a bit on social media, and it looked fantastic. You also looked like you got great conditions as well.
We did. Yeah, we got great conditions the whole way. We didn't have any rain or anything like that, so that was good. I can't seem to find them here. Keep talking and I'll find it. But it was like that was really lovely in there. It was quite interesting. We slept in tents and swags, and everyone signed up for everyone. Everyone knew what they got there, but the look on everyone's face when we said, "Oh, these are the swags we're sleeping in," everyone went, "What do you mean? What do you mean swags?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah, we're sleeping in swags." Oh, like really swags? I'm like, "Yeah, we're sleeping on." Yeah, like what do you think's going on? So that was very funny when that happened.
Was it comfortable though? Like,
yeah, I totally was. Yeah, I had no issues. I actually slept out. So they had a swag inside a tent just to make it somewhat a bit warmer, and I actually slept out on the grass pretty much, and that was lovely. So, but yeah, I can't seem to find that photo. Sorry,
that's okay.
I don't know where I put that.
We'll keep it as your photo of the week next week. There's a little cliffhanger
next
for people.
week. Yeah, I don't know where it's gone.
Week.
It'll be on the laptop somewhere.
That's right.
So yeah, we had a great time. Rainbow Valley was stunning. It had like that little salt plane in front of it, which we got some great shots on. So that was really good. But it was a great trip. We had like I said, we had the guides from World Expeditions helping us out. They were fabulous. They were really good. We had 3 guides to all of us, which is not overkill, but it was definitely well worth it. And they did everything for us. They drove everything. They did everything. They cooked. They set up stuff. They did everything we needed to do. And it was fantastic. So shout out to them. I have found that photo now. I'll just put it up here for you. Where is it?
Thank you.
Yeah, so it was it was a great trip, that's for sure. So this might be a bit
so three guides and yourself.
Yeah. 3 guides, myself and Cheryl. So so we had 5 guides. Yeah, that, and you know what? We had a funny moment. Funny funny whatever. We got there, we had time to set up our camp, but we were a little bit late. The road in was a bit bumpier than we thought, so it took a bit longer. And we got our tents and swags all set up. So like, let's go, guys. We've got to get across for this sunset. And I knew what was going to happen. You could just tell that thing was going to glow, and all the sky was going to be beautiful behind it. And we got there, and there was this fence that said, "Conservation area, don't cross this fence." But down the end of it, the fence stopped, and it went out to these salt plains or these little dried up lakes. So I went to walk out there, and a few people went, "Oh, no, we can't. That's under vegetation rehabilitation." I'm like, I don't know if it is or not. Like, I don't think it is. So we had this moment where we're like, shit, can we go out there or can we not go out there? By the time we'd figured out what we're doing, we're like, we've got to set up tripods here. We've got to get this shot. The light was changing so quickly. But after the sun set, I went for a bit of a sneaky walk out there with my camera and got this shot. And I went, okay. So there was other people out there. So we realized now that we can go out there. For sunrise, we went out there, got some great shots. For astro, we went out there and got some great shots. But it was just a very cool spot. Middle of nowhere, absolute middle of nowhere. But that was definitely a highlight of the trip. Everything went to plan. We've got plenty of shots. We've already half sold out next year's tour already. So if you do want to come along to the Red Centre next year, there's only 3 spots left. That'll be it's in May next year, May 11th to 15th, I think it is. It's on the website. Come along. But everything was good. We got on well with the guides. Everyone had a good time. We had some fun. It was good, lots of laughs, and we went to a, what do you call, like a planetarium, like a Earth Sanctuary. Went out of Alice Springs. There was a place called the Earth Sanctuary, and there was a guy there who we just thought we'd go there and check it out and maybe do some astro shots. And he just educated us. We had a couple of telescopes to look through. He showed us these constellations, and like just everything was really cool. It was very educational. I super enjoyed the interpretation of the Dreamtime stories and things like that. I find that really fascinating. And Uluru was everything it was meant to be. So can't wait to get back next year. And we now know the place a lot better and know what works. So
that's right.
It was good.
You've scouted it now, but I found, I mean, and geez, mate, it was 1996, if you can believe that. So nearly 30 years ago that I was there. But
high school.
I remember how it made me feel. Like it was a spiritual place.
It is.
And it's cool. I mean, it's iconic. It's Aussie. It's awesome. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's also there's a vibe around that place that the colors are incredible. How good's the red earth?
Yeah. Well, you know what I thought was really cool as well, that when you get up close to Uluru, it's all like scaly rock. It's not this smooth, perfect rock. It's all this sort of shale rock. And you wouldn't know that from, if you didn't see it. But yeah, I found it sort of moving to a point. I also found myself getting quite frustrated and a bit angry with things about how things have happened over the last few hundred years, and just how ignorant people can be towards other cultures and things like that. Like the Indigenous culture of Australia, like I'm sure there'll be people watching this show who will probably start rolling their eyes now as well. But the Indigenous culture of Australia is something that we should really cherish as a country. Like we don't have that culture as white fellas coming on boats from England. Like all our culture is drinking, football, and the beach. Like what they had and what the stories they have and the time they were there, it's just phenomenal. And I felt really proud to be able to go there and respect that. And like I said, the guides, we had Yule, who was one of our guides. He's been going there for years, and he knew all the stories. You know, there were certain places we couldn't take photos. We all respected that, and no issue. No one had any issues about, why can't we take photos here? But I just wish everyone could be like that. Like it takes nothing to be nice and nothing to be respectful. And I found myself like even as we walked around, there's a few tourists doing the wrong thing, and you could just sort of tell they were just that that generalization of that Australian person who really doesn't have much understanding or time for that Indigenous history, and just won't spend the time to learn it. And it's a real shame.
They're called ignoramuses. You only got it out. They're ignorant.
Ignoramuses. Ignorant. Yeah, they are. And like the thing is, like, not one person on our trip was like that. Everyone was fantastic. And when we did have sort of spots where we were standing and talking, you could see other people listening in and stuff like that. You could see the people were really engaged, and you could see some of people's not opinions, but some people's reaction was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Didn't know that." And they engaged with the land, and I think that's what it's all about. But it's nothing. There's nothing worse than when you sort of talk to people and you're like, "Oh, I went to Uluru. Oh, you're not allowed to climb on the Uluru. No, how stupid is that?" You know what? Fair enough. Like it's a sacred rock. It's a sacred place. It's like, do you want someone going jumping all over your gravesite of your grandmother? No, you don't. So just respect it. Like, and I was, like I said, I had a great time. It was really good, but there was just a few moments there where I was just having those moments to myself thinking, geez, we're ignorant. We are so ignorant. Well, we should be grasping this culture with two hands and running with it, because it is important. And some of us just don't do it. So, we've probably just lost about 1,000 subs now.
I wouldn't have thought so. Anyway, in fact, I think we probably made it. Look, I mean, I'm totally with you. And I remember when I went there in '96, it was it was probably opened my eyes a bit. I mean, I was brought up with parents that were through that generation, that ignorant racist generation that this country delivered, and I was rapt to get out there, and I think that's what made it a bit more spiritual for me was knowing how ancient it is, for one, like not just human interaction with that area, but how ancient that landscape is. Like, it's like crazy. It's
400 million years old. Yeah,
it's insane. That's really cool. And I think there was a couple of points there where we were near where you take the photo with the casuarinas, the tree, and all you can hear is the wind coming through the casuarinas, and you can see Uluru in the distance. Like, pretty cool spot.
Yeah. And I think what else is really cool is, we're 2025, where it's only 240 years since someone came here, apart from the Indigenous. But that's not long in the scheme of things. That place hasn't changed. That place has not changed for the last thousands and thousands of years. And I think that's really, really cool that you can walk in these places and experience. It's like I'm in a time machine. Yeah. So like I said, we had a great time, and really, really enjoyed it. The customers were all great. Looking forward to getting back there again. And we may even, like, Cheryl and I are currently doing a course through the Charles Sturt University in Darwin. As part of our permit for Kakadu, we've got to do an Indigenous cultural awareness course, which is it's a full-on thing. But there's a similar thing that applies for Uluru, which I'm considering maybe doing that in maybe the next year or two, where we can sort of learn more about those stories a bit more ourselves as well. So it's very cool. We should be proud of that place. Yeah,
my dad did that because he used to run
with bus driver
coach tours there, so with school groups and things. So he did the Aboriginal cultural awareness, Indigenous cultural awareness course, whatever it's called. Yeah, very cool. Cool, awesome. Glad you enjoyed that, Cam. We have beer donations. please.
We do. Yes. Thank you. Shout out to Flick, who apparently we've missed every time that we said her name.
Yeah.
She's missed it, or we've missed it. So Flick, thanks for the beers that you bought probably a few weeks ago again. Jen C, thank you for your donation, and Mel's donated twice in the last 2 weeks. Thank you, Mel. I think he might be back to number 1. I haven't seen Shazbang on there, but maybe she did, but I didn't see her name on there. So yeah, thank you.
If you jump on and buy us a beer, you are helping the channel greatly. So thank you for doing that for us. You can go to gsps.com.
Thanks very much.
That's right. Yeah, thanks. what did I get? I get this drink bottle. Okay, fair enough. That's fine.
Yeah, no,
I get it.
No, money was not used for that.
The check's in the mail. Cool. So, Cam, we're getting near the end of the podcast. This is where we discuss what we've got coming up. What have you got coming up, Mr. Blake?
I have one of my master classes on the weekend.
Excellent.
On Saturday, we have Sunday. Generally, Saturday we go out to shoot, and then Sunday we come back here and do some printing. There's 20 to 40 mil of rain expected on Saturday here in Southern Hobart, Tassie region. So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing. I'm going to have to check it out and play it by ear a bit, but we'll still go out. But it might be a bit. Yeah. Waterfalls could be good.
Does that mean it could be cold snow as well, though?
Yeah, we could go up the top of Mount Field and get some snow. So we shall see. We'll see how that goes. What about your good self? Have you got stuff happening?
I've got.
How's your shop going? Is it busy?
Yeah, it's gone. I had a few days off this week. Went away golfing, which was fantastic. I needed to do that.
Did you win anything?
No, I never win anything. So I really enjoyed that. But of course, when you have 3 days off from your shop, you come back and you've got 6 days of work to catch up on. So, which is where I'm at right now. Very fortunate to say that my new Bellarine Peninsula tour has only got a couple of places left now. So I'm very excited for that, which happens from the 7th of September. It's an all new sort of multi-day workshop down here. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. It's going to be great. So a couple of spots available for that. And
I'm actually surprised that you're running a workshop in September. Surely you'd be watching your football team in the finals, wouldn't you?
Well, if you have a look at when the 7th of September is,
it's a buy round, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't exactly clash. Not my first rodeo, mate. So I'm busy sort of doing. I mean, I've scouted these locations 1,000 times, but when you would have been the same. Like you would have been to a lot of places in Tassie, but then when you start actually, I'm going to run a workshop there. I better just go back and double check that spot is as good as I reckon remember it to be. So yeah, absolutely. So that's been me for the last little bit. So it's been good.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear the shop's busy. Like this time of year, I imagine would be relatively quiet, wouldn't it? The winter.
Yeah, we do get the winter blues here in Ocean Grove. I mean, a lot of people, go away on holidays and stuff and chase the sun and that sort of thing, and things do get a bit quieter. But we just had school holidays, and week 2 of the school holidays, you get a lot of parents who need the kids to do something, so they come in and print 6x4s and make photo albums and photo walls and that sort of stuff, which is cool. And it's been really good too. I've had a lot of people bringing in cameras lately for me to check out and do sensor cleans on and all that kind of stuff. So the problem is, Cam, someone will come in with a camera and then I'm with them for half an hour talking about that camera. Which I love, mind you. Like that's what I mean. It's a massive distraction for me from printing a canvas or editing a photo or scanning some images and that sort of stuff. So
it is hard when you're the one-man band, isn't it?
My lovely daughter is excellent working in there for me, but she doesn't. Her knowledge base for cameras is nowhere near mine, of course. So it's great. It's cool. It's cool to see some more cameras coming through. But yes.
Well, I got 4 rolls of film to develop from the AAA, so I got to get them done. I think Camera House can do. They're C41, so they can probably do them down here.
35 mil.
Yeah, it was the stuff you sent me, the Portra 400 stuff.
Oh yeah. Hey, I also noticed you printed some photos on that cool little photo printer.
I did. I printed heaps out on that thing. That's so cool, that thing. Little Kodak
cool.
P156 or something, whatever it's called.
Whatever it's called.
Very cool. What we did as a nice gesture on the way back from from Uluru to Alice Springs, which is a good 4 hours, we started printing out little photos of the guides that we'd taken and we gave it to the guides as bit of a thank you at the end. So they had these little pocket photos, and they're putting them up in like the bus and like the dash of the bus, and they loved them.
They would have loved it.
Yeah, it was great. It was really cool. So that'll come on many trips with us. It'll come to the Tarkine Cradle, and yeah, it's good fun.
If you would like to get your hands on one of those little Kodak printers, drop me a line. I can. No, I got some more in. I have more.
Cheryl wants one. You want to send one to her?
I will work out one for Cheryl as well. That's fine. Okay. Well, I guess
her little interview is rating pretty well. I'm just trying to embarrass her. Not that she listens this far, but
way better than ours.
Yeah, her interview's killing everyone's. It's like maybe we should just get her to host a show, and I don't know. Yours will get up there. Yours is. Yeah.
I think Felicity's is going quite well too.
Yeah, Felicity's is going well.
So the interviews are popular. We may have a couple more of those coming up too before this year is out. So stay tuned for those.
Right. Anyone important or just
no? Well, yes, of course they're all important. Come on.
I was going to say, what are you saying there? Right.
Okay, that is it. That is the podcast. Are you done?
It's halftime in the footy. Yes, I am.
I told you it'd be halftime when we wrap this thing up.
You did. You did. Yeah, well wrapped.
Cool. This has been episode 170 of the Down South Photo Show. We will see you for episode 171 next week. Say goodbye, Cameron.
Bye, Cameron.